Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Saturday the 3rd of February 2024, and we have 51 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 1112. Starting with the most recent event which happened last year, 2023 Ohio train derailment. A freight train containing vinyl chloride and other hazardous materials derails and burns in East Palestine, Ohio, United States, releasing hydrogen chloride and phosgene into the air and contaminating the Ohio River. 10 years ago in 2014, 2 people are shot and killed and 29 students are taken hostage at a high school in Moscow, Russia. 17 years ago in 2007, a Baghdad market bombing kills at least 135 people and injures a further 339. 19 years ago in 2005, 105 people are killed when CAM Air Flight 904 crashes in the Pamir Mountains in Afghanistan. 26 years ago in 1998, Cavalier's cable car disaster. A United States military pilot causes the death of 20 people when his low-flying plane cuts the cable of a cable car near Trento, Italy. 29 years ago in 1995, astronaut Eileen Collins becomes the first woman to pilot the space shuttle as mission STS-63 gets underway from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. 30 years ago in 1994, in the Space Shuttle program, STS-60 is launched, carrying Sergei Krikalev, the first Russian cosmonaut to fly aboard the shuttle. 35 years ago in 1989, after a stroke 2 weeks previously, South African President P.W. Botha resigns as leader of the National Party, but stays on as president for 6 more months. In the same year, a military coup overthrows Alfredo Stroessner, dictator of Paraguay since 1954. 40 years ago in 1984, director John Buster and a research team at the Harbor UCLA Medical Center in the United States announced history's first embryo transfer from one woman to another, resulting in a live birth. In the same year, in the Space Shuttle program, STS-41B is launched using Space Shuttle Challenger. 52 years ago in 1972, the first day of the 7-day 1972 Iran blizzard, which would kill at least 4,000 people, making it the deadliest snowstorm in history. 53 years ago in 1971, New York police officer Frank Serpico is shot during a drug bust in Brooklyn and survives to later testify against police corruption. 58 years ago in 1966, the Soviet Union's Luna 9 becomes the first spacecraft to make a soft landing on the moon and the first spacecraft to take pictures from the surface of the moon. 63 years ago in 1961, the United States Air Force begins Operation Looking Glass, and over the next 30 years, a doomsday plane is always in the air with the capability of taking direct control of the United States bombers and missiles in the event of the destruction of the SAC's command post. 64 years ago in 1960, British Prime Minister Harold Macmillan speaks of a wind of change, signalling that his government was likely to support decolonisation. 65 years ago in 1959, rock and roll musicians Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens and JP the Big Bopper Richardson are killed in a plane crash along with the pilot near Clear Lake, Iowa, an event later known as the day the music died. In the same year, 65 people are killed when American Airlines Flight 320 crashes into the East River on approach to LaGuardia Airport in New York City. 56 years ago in 1958, founding of the Benelux Economic Union, creating a testing ground for a later European Economic Community. 71 years ago in 1953, the Batepa massacre occurred in São Tomé when the colonial administration and Portuguese landowners unleashed a wave of violence against the native Creoles known as Foros. 79 years ago in 1945 in World War II, as part of Operation Thunderclap, 1,000 B-17s of the 8th Air Force bomb Berlin, a raid which kills between 2,500 and 3,000 and dehouses another 120,000. In the same year, also in World War II, the United States and the Philippine Commonwealth begin a month-long battle to retake Manila from Japan. 80 years ago in 1944, again in World War II, during the Gilbert and Marshall Islands campaign, US Army and Marine forces seize Kwajalein Atoll from the defending Japanese garrison. 81 years ago in 1943, the SS Dorchester is sunk by a German U-boat. Only 230 of 902 men aboard survive. 91 years ago in 1933, Adolf Hitler announces that the expansion of Lebensraum into Eastern Europe and its ruthless Germanization are the ultimate geopolitical objectives of Nazi foreign policy. 93 years ago in 1931, the Hawke's Bay earthquake, New Zealand's worst natural disaster, kills 258. 94 years ago in 1930, the Communist Party of Vietnam is founded at a unification conference held in Kowloon, British Hong Kong. 97 years ago in 1927, a revolt against the military dictatorship of Portugal breaks out at Oporto. 106 years ago in 1918, the Twin Peaks Tunnel in San Francisco, California, begins service as the longest streetcar tunnel in the world at 11,920 feet, or 3,630 meters long. 107 years ago in 1917, in World War I, the American entry into World War I begins when diplomatic relations with Germany are severed due to its unrestricted submarine warfare. 108 years ago in 1916, the centre block of the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, burns down with the loss of 7 lives. 111 years ago in 1913, the 16th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified, authorizing the federal government to impose and collect an income tax. 154 years ago in 1870, the 15th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified, guaranteeing voting rights to male citizens regardless of race. 194 years ago in 1830, The London Protocol of 1830 establishes the full independence and sovereignty of Greece from the Ottoman Empire as the final result of the Greek War of Independence. 211 years ago in 1813, José de San Martin defeats a Spanish royalist army at the Battle of San Lorenzo, part of the Argentine War of Independence. 215 years ago in 1809, the territory of Illinois is created by the 10th United States Congress. 217 years ago in 1807, a British military force under Brigadier General Sir Samuel Arcmuty captures the Spanish Empire city of Montevideo, now the capital of Uruguay. 237 years ago in 1787, militia led by General Benjamin Lincoln crushed the remnants of Shays' Rebellion in Petersham, Massachusetts. 241 years ago in 1783, Spain-United States relations are first established. 243 years ago in 1781, in the American Revolutionary War, British forces seize the Dutch-owned Caribbean island St. Eustatius. 308 years ago in 1716, the 1716 Algiers earthquake sequence began with a 7.0 magnitude main shock that caused severe damage and killed 20,000 in Algeria. "318 years ago in 1706, during the Battle of Fraustadt, Swedish forces defeat a superior Saxon, Polish, Russian force by deploying a double envelopment. 334 years ago in 1690, the colony of Massachusetts issues the first paper money in the Americas. 363 years ago in 1661, Maratha forces under Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj defeat the Mughals in the Battle of Umberkind. 385 years ago in 1639, the House of Assembly of Barbados meets for the first time. 387 years ago in 1637, tulip mania collapses within the Dutch Republic. 441 years ago in 1583, Battle of São Vicente takes place off Portuguese Brazil, where 3 English warships, led by navigator Edward Fenton, fight off 3 Spanish galleons, sinking one in the process. 515 years ago in 1509, the Portuguese navy defeats a joint fleet of the Ottoman Empire, the Republic of Venice, the Sultan of Gujarat, the Mamluk Burjai Sultanate of Egypt, the Zamarin of Calicut, and the Republic of Ragusa at the Battle of Diu in Diu, India. 536 years ago in 1488, Bartolomeu Dias of Portugal lands in Mossel Bay after rounding the Cape of Good Hope, becoming the first known European to travel so far south. 573 years ago in 1451, Sultan Mehmed II inherits the throne of the Ottoman Empire. 912 years ago in 1112, Ramon Berenguer III, Count Barcelona, and Duce I, Countess of Provence, marry, uniting the fortunes of those 2 states. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history, both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.